Hey you guys, I am back with another video, but this time it is on my curly hair journey. Wait, I had to redo that with a hair flip. Well, this one took me a long time to record, so I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, you guys, what's up? I am back with another video. Finally, I know this corona got your girl in the house and I got time. No, I'm just kidding, but no, for real. I just have more time and I really wanted to get this video out. It's like 11 o'clock at night, but I really wanted to get this done. This video you guys have been requesting from me for years, since like Instagram started, because that's when like the whole big hair don't care thing started. If you don't know what I'm talking about, my Instagram is big hair don't care, and that's where I kind of gained a lot of like curly followers just from kind of like posting pictures of my hair and stuff way back years ago. Anyways, I'm just gonna talk about my curly hair journey from when I was a kid to now, and like where I'm at. And I'm 30 now. I just turned 30, you know, Pisces, hello. And I just kind of want to share with you guys kind of just my journey, because I've had a lot of ups and downs with my hair, especially due to chronic illness that I was dealing with years ago and all the medications I had to get on and hair loss and all of this stuff. So I kind of just want to dive into it, and I can answer more questions and stuff later in later videos on like more specific hair tips or all those types of things. But anyways, we'll just jump right into starting off when I was a kid. So when I was, I don't know, as little as I can remember, and I was trying to identify with who I was and figure out who I am in this world, you know, you kind of look at your parents, right, to see, you know, usually your parents are like your heroes. Or my first hero was my mom. Now, my mom doesn't really, I don't feel like as a kid I look like her at all. She is half Mexican and half Italian, and she has curly hair, but she always straightened it for as long as I've known her. So she would have days that it was like wavy and stuff, but because it never had like really gotten its like real curl pattern back, because she's always straightened it for so many years. So when I was a kid, I actually didn't even know her hair was as curly as mine, until I saw pictures later on of her when she was younger. Now, growing up and looking up to your mother and seeing that you don't really like look like her, there's this like self-identity thing where you're kind of like, wait, okay, I look like this, but she looks like that. And of course, like I feel like I look more like my father, and he has more of a kinkier texture, but he ended up kind of like shaving all his head off at a later time. Plus he's a man. Like, I mean, I couldn't really identify with him as wanting to be like him when I grew up. You know, it was like my mom. It's like, you want to wear the makeup she's putting on and all those types of things. And so anyways, I just didn't feel like my hair was really manageable or easy to deal with. I didn't like how it looked in certain ways. I just couldn't find that happy medium where like I liked how my hair looked. And not to say that there was nobody in my family that had curly hair, but if they did, I hardly saw them, or they wore it in protective styles, or they had it relaxed. So it was just kind of one of those things where it's like nobody ever wore their hair out and just kind of like embraced it. And I would say, as a woman of color, I did not ever see anybody in the beauty industry that embraced their natural curls, that you know, made it like the beauty standard. And society always pinned either brunette or blonde women with wavy or straight hair as the standard of beauty. So growing up, you don't realize how these images have an effect on your brain, but looking back, it's so important to have representation. And I realized that is what I didn't have at all. I didn't have it in my family. I didn't have it in the movies or the shows that I was watching. I do remember being like a teen though, and seeing, or like almost in my teenage years, and seeing Tia and Tamara, and I remember being like, oh my gosh, like their hair's like mine, they kind of look like they could be my sister. And okay, like I could wear my curls too, but I still really low-key inside didn't like them. And I think it's because I couldn't find that like happy medium of like, ooh, I like this hairstyle that I'm wearing. Or, you know, my mom would do my hair and she would put them in the little the balls, or she would do them in little twists, or she would just put it up, but like or she would put them in like braids. And sometimes I just did not like it, and me and my mom did not always agree on the hairstyles that she was going to do on my hair. So I just was not feeling it a lot of times. Finally, well, I also should say my mom never let me straighten my hair either, which I think is a good thing actually. She loved my curls, but I couldn't find any love for them myself, which is obviously an issue. And it wasn't until, so I want to say I was probably like 12, my mom let me straighten my hair, and I just really liked it. I was just like, oh my gosh, like I just felt new. I felt like it was just easier to deal with because I didn't know how to maintain, or I guess manage, my curls, which looking back at it now, it's so easy. But back then, you know, we didn't have like products, or we didn't have people just kind of like wearing their hair out and just being all about it, you know. So the straight hair thing was kind of like my new thing. I wanted to straighten it all the time. So I would kind of flip-flop back and forth, and then when I would wear it curly, I would just slick it back in a ponytail and looking like a straight up tomboy, because back then I was low-key like a little bit of a tomboy, like around 12 years old or whatnot. Like I played softball, and I don't know, I was like a little tomboy. Like I don't know how to really explain it. I just wasn't hella girly. Like my mom would put dresses on me and stuff, and even in some of my pictures as a kid, I look like, as a little girl, I looked like I could be girly. But I don't know, once I got to like I don't know, like 8 through 12, I was kind of just boyish a little bit. And that was a stage too, y'all. I was not cute. Like I was going through something. I don't know what it was. I was having issues with eczema. I was like self-conscious. All the guys I liked or had crushes on, like, did not like me. They ended up liking my friend or something, or my cousin. It was just like a time I just was not feeling myself, y'all. And looking back, it was good because it really helped me boost my own self-confidence within my personality and really find out a little bit more who I was, and not focus as much on the external until, you know, later on. But moving on, let's see, what am I talking about now? So moving on towards when I was like in high school, I started straightening my hair a lot more. It became like a frequent thing, like to where I wasn't doing it every day, but like probably like once or twice a week, which is kind of a lot thinking about it now that I think, because usually, like, I don't know, I just wouldn't, my hair would get like kind of greasier, and so I would just have to end up washing it, and the straighten didn't last that long. So, and my hair was really long. So I should say, growing up as a kid, my hair was always long. I've always had like long hair. Like it would be probably like to like here, like mid breast, curly. So when it was straight, it was super long, like way past my, like it's basically down to my lower back. So, you know, I thought, oh my gosh, like I really like it, and I just felt more confident because it felt manageable. And I guess it just was more of like this standard of beauty that I was exemplifying, I guess I should say. So for years, I kind of would wear it like you know, back and forth, go back curly. And I kind of started figuring out a lot of ways to do my hair curly though too. At this point, I was getting really creative. I was tapping into my Pisces. I was doing my hair in all different styles, half up, half down. But then I would always do like a bang. Like I would do like a straight bang even if I wore it curly. And then I hit this point where, I don't know what year it was, but I hit this point where I would, you know, when you wet your hair, it goes back curly. Well, my curls started not coming back, and they just looked like, you know, the damaged curls that we've all had. And I was just like, this is not it. And at this point, I started really liking my curly hair. I don't know how this came about, but I think it was me just figuring out like ways to manage it, and like there were better products coming out. I didn't have to use like grease on my hair anymore, which was weighing down my curls. So they came out with other products. I think this Mixed Chicks came out, and it was lighter on my hair, felt more like a lotion, and it just really, it really made me feel more confident in my curls. And so I also think just the whole product line in general, targeting women that have curly hair, it just made me feel more confident, like, ooh, I have a product just for my hair and it actually looks good. And then the stylist that I've gone to since I was young, he cut my hair in like long layers, so I started liking the style of me just wearing it down more. I didn't have bangs or anything yet, but I just started feeling it more, and so I started rocking it more. But then when I had that, you know, issue when my hair started to not go back curly, I'm like, hold up, my hair is not going back curly. And so I kind of had a little spaz, like freaked out a little bit, and I'm like, wait, this is not good. This is not good. Maybe I gotta do a deep treatment. Maybe I gotta do a deep conditioner. So I started doing all these things and it still wasn't coming back. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I damaged my hair. I like did this heat damage thing. And so I was like, it has to be from me straightening it, because the ends just were frayed. Like, it just looked bad, y'all. And I could tell it was in a bad kind of dried situation at this point, because even when I would wear it straight, it was just, the ends were bad. It didn't even look good straight anymore. So I was like, okay, I miss my curls. This is like the first time I was like, I want my curly hair back. I don't fuck the straight hair. I don't even want it. Like, what's up? Where are my curls? So I decided to go back to my hairstylist, and I told him, I'm like, look, I think I was probably like 14 or something, 13. And I told my hairstylist, I'm like, look, I want my curls back. Cut whatever you need to cut off to allow my hair to kind of like, the curls at least like bounce back up. So he was like, okay, you got a few inches, few good inches of hair that we need to cut off. And if you're a curly head, you know, a few inches, you gonna look like, you know what I mean? Like, it just is gonna curl all the way up. So I was like, okay, I don't care, go ahead, do it, like, it'll grow back. And my hair always grew, like, I felt like relatively fast. So now it's like really curly, and it wasn't hella short. It's probably like, honestly, it was probably like around here. Actually, it's probably like around where it is now, when he cut it. But that was new for me because my hair was always super long. So I was like, okay, cool. I would style it every day. I would use my leave-in conditioner. And I kind of got to this phase. I even remember, like, in my junior year of high school, where I just didn't give a fuck. Like, I would wear hoodies all the time and baggy sweats and my, like, Jordans or some Nikes, and then I would put leave-in conditioner in my hair, and my hair, I just rocked it. Like, I was in a really confident, you know, state in my life at that time, where it was just like, and I had a boyfriend that I was with for like years, so I wasn't like hella worried. But honestly, that was the time at the most that, like, a lot of people were more into me, when I was just being myself, to be real. Great lesson in life. And so I just really, like, let it kind of like grow out. Then it started getting really long, and then I kind of started playing with it again and kind of straightening it again, getting comfortable with straightening it. And obviously not all the time, because I saw how it was kind of like damaging it from the past. But eventually, like, it kind of got damaged again, and I was like, damn it. And by this time now, I'm like, I think I was like 18. And so I was like, okay, I'm ready for another chop. This time I chopped it really short. I was like, I want a whole new look. I wanted bangs. I wanted, like, I don't know what got into me, but I was just like, I wanted to try something new. I don't know. I was like 18. I was in college. I went to college when I was like 17. So I was already like in my first year of college. I was like, this is the new me. And so I cut it just probably about like here. And I know the differences don't sound that different, but like when my hair was growing long, then I would cut it again. So I cut it to like right about here. And I had the bangs, and I was like, ooh, like, this looks good. Like, I like it, like, with the layers. And at this point, I had made a Tumblr. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tumblr. I still love Tumblr. But it's another social media kind of like platform, I guess, but it's a little more hidden, and it's more for like the introverts that like want to escape. Anyways, I started posting a ton of like pictures of myself, and people were just like reblogging them and constantly like reposting them. And so I was getting a lot of like traction, as far, and not intentionally, I was just feeling myself kind of in like just posting my own pictures, and people and other pages were getting a hold of them, and they were just kind of like blowing up. Like, I mean, they were just getting tons and thousands of reposts. So I was like, oh wow, like, this is so cool. Like, I mean, here I am embracing my natural curls, and like, it's just like this thing, you know, now like people are starting to embrace their curls. And then I started getting messages from different women, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, your hair is so pretty. Mine used to look like this, but I damaged it. And I kind of would tell them, oh, I did the same thing with mine, and I had to cut it off. And, you know, and I didn't cut it obviously all the way off, but I had to keep cutting it. And now, you know, then people started doing these things like the big chop, and then this whole natural hair community thing kind of started. And, you know, obviously I wouldn't say I'm the one that started it, but I feel like I definitely was there in the beginning, where a lot of people were like using my hair even as a reference to the style of cut they wanted. And then Instagram came out, I think in like, I don't know, 2013 or something, or 2012. and I started posting pictures on there. And then what happened was a lot of people that had a significant amount of followers were reposting my pictures. And so then that's how all these people started following me. And it was like this hair thing. It was like so crazy. It's like this natural hair community that just like kept getting bigger and bigger. And I was just kind of just posting pictures here and there, and I wasn't 100% confident in myself to start like, you know, a curly YouTube yet. I just wasn't there. Like, just to be honest, I just wasn't in that place. I was working on school, and then I had eventually got diagnosed with autoimmune disease, and I just didn't have time to like really focus on doing something like that, even though I'm a creative and this is totally like in my realm. I just wasn't in that space yet. Now, I have to mention Taryn on here because I feel like she was one of the first YouTubers that I saw that made me like, even once the hair, you know, natural curly hair community kind of started getting big, she made me really feel like just I loved my hair because of Taryn. So thank you, Taryn. Like, she just was posting these videos of her curls, and like it always made me like never want to straighten my hair after that ever again. And she was one of the first YouTubers that was posting videos on like styling her curly hair and using a diffuser. I had never used a diffuser before. Like, she was the reason I actually tried that out, but then eventually I stopped because I didn't want to use any heat on my hair. But yeah, she just really, and I love her till this day. Like, she's just such a light, and really, like, I'm sure was an inspiration for so many people to love their curls. So shout out to her, because she's one of the first in the game to just really step out into the natural hair community and really embrace her big curly hair. I also want to talk about real quick the whole meaning behind my Instagram name. So if you don't already know, my Instagram name is Big Hair Don't Care, and the reason why I used that name was because before Instagram, I was getting all of these people that were making fake accounts on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr, because Instagram wasn't up yet. Tumblr, using my pictures but like making up new names for the person. So I was basically having all these like catfish accounts that weren't me, and so it kind of freaked me out, and I decided to make a name on my Instagram that like people wouldn't know personal details about me. So I just used Big Hair Don't Care because I was like the girl that everybody knew with the big hair, and I didn't fucking care. Anyway, I'm sorry, that was hella funny to me. But anyways, so from there, you know, I'm just coasting along with my life. I'm probably like around 22 now. Everybody knows me as Big Hair Don't Care. And I hit this point in my life where I started getting sick. And so there's a whole video on this, but I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis and autoimmune disease. And it really took a toll on my body. It took a toll on my health. It took a toll on my mental. And I started having to take some pharmaceuticals, which I tried many different ones. And a lot of the side effects were like hair fallout, thinning of the hair, and so amongst many other side effects, but those were the like physical hair symptoms. And so my hair started really thinning out, like really, really thin. And I was just going through a troubling time in my life at that point. It was just a lot going on. So my hair was getting really thin, and I just wanted to cut it off. I was in a place where I just wanted to be healthy again too, but I also felt like I wanted to like have a new start. And you know, us women, it's just like cut it off or dye it, or you know, and normally I never would go this short, but my hair was now like pretty damaged, and like it just looked frail, and the curl pattern was just not there anymore. And at this point I wasn't even straightening my hair. It was just the pharmaceuticals that were really damaging it. So this time I cut it like this short, like here. I told my hairstylist, I'm like, yep, cut it all off to where it looks the same, like even length. Otherwise it just looked, I was retaining some length, but it was like just sparsely like thin. It was just not a cute look. So I was just like, cut it off, it's fine. I knew as an individual like that really believes in the body and like natural healing, I knew I was gonna get better. I knew my hair would grow back, so I wasn't worried about that. It was just more about me feeling confident within my own skin again. So it took some years. I was on and off the medications, and it just got to the point where I am now 27, and at the time 27, and I was really sick again, and this autoimmune disease was beating me down, and it was just in so many ways just stopped my whole life. In many ways, it debilitated me with so many parts of my life. I couldn't work. I wasn't sleeping. I was taking all these medications. My body hurt. My body was just feeling like it was like failing me. So in the hospital, you know, I was really, really sick. I was about 89 pounds. And I just had to make a decision to change my life. That would change my life forever. And that was to get off medication. And because I didn't want to be on the medication, it was really just doing too many things to all different organs. It was just doing too many things to my body, to my mind. My soul was just feeling broken. And I decided, okay, I'm going to go plant-based to try to see if I can heal myself naturally. So I went plant-based then, and of course I couldn't stop some of the medication until like 3 months out of the hospital, because it's a medication that you can't just cut off cold turkey. You have to taper down, or else you can like die. So that sounds so dramatic, but that's what they tell you. So I once that medication wore off, my hair fell out again. So I was like, here I go back on this road. But I was like, at this time I was like strong in knowing that like this was going to be the last time I was going to have to do this, because I knew that I was going to get better. I just believed it. And just in case you don't know what third of year healing is, believing that you are going to heal. And so I really believed in myself. I knew that I was going to get through this. I knew my hair was going to grow back. And so I really started just continuing to detox my body. And so, geez, a lot of my hair fell out at this point. Like, it was coming out in chunks. Like, I felt like I was a cancer patient. I felt like I knew what people with cancer were going through, and I'd never. And of course, you know, as a curly girl, you know, or a curly guy, you know what that when you're brushing your hair out in the shower, you know all the clumps of hair that comes out. Now, this was on top of that. Like, it was literally like, I felt like, what is that movie where Marsha is like, she's brushing her, her name's not Marsha in there, but basically she's like brushing out her, it's like that witch movie. Yeah, I forgot, but basically she's in the shower and they do a spell on her and all her hair is coming out. That's literally what I felt like. I felt like I was bald. I actually was. I didn't have actual bald spots, but I had patches that were so thin you can like see through the back of like my hair, really. And it was really sad, but at the same time, like I was going through so many other like physical and emotional things at the time that I didn't really focus on my hair as much. So I went back to my stylist again and I told him, okay, chop me again. Like, hopefully this is gonna be the last time, but I'm going through these health things and whatever. And he's totally good about it. He's like, okay, we can make it a little bit thicker. We'll cut it in a style that makes it look bigger, but you know, it's not obviously, but it's just, we'll layer it out in there so that it's, you know, big and poofy. And you know, with you, not many people will be able to tell that your hair is thinning anyways. And a lot of people actually couldn't, unless you were really close to me and like really knew the thickness of my hair. And so I just rocked that out, and then my hair eventually started growing back, and I was doing lots of raw foods, and my skin got so bad at a point in time due to also detoxing from the pharmaceutical that I couldn't use anything with fragrance or anything on my hair. So I started even like washing my hair with baking soda and putting natural gel. What is it called? Flaxseed gel. I would make flaxseed gel and I would use that as a leave-in conditioner because I just couldn't put anything with any chemicals on my skin. It was just really bothering me. So for a while, I really didn't even pay attention to my hair because I was waiting for my skin to heal. That's a whole nother video that I've like already made. But anyways, from there, it just started hella growing and it was coming back thick, and I was like, oh my gosh, my hair is coming back. And I guess I got so excited because it was just for so long I had battled with it being so thin and just not cute and just not feeling as confident in it. I was just trying to get through life at this point, so it was just also felt like it was growing rapidly. And it was just nice because I was just falling in love with like my hair again. And then I started working out daily, and then that's when I also noticed it was growing even rapidly quicker. I don't know what working out has to do with the hair growth, but there's some correlation in there. I think it has to do with the lymphatic system, because my hair I started working out daily, like at least 30 minutes to an hour daily once my health was up, and my hair started growing really fast. So now at this point, I'm at this stage where it looks like it's really big and full, but it wasn't, because there were so many different parts that were like different lengths. I needed to get it like shaped. So last April, after I came back from Bali, I was living in Bali for a few months. I came back and I told my stylist, hey, let's give me a shape up. My hair's like grown a lot. And he was just like, oh my gosh, it has grown a lot since I've seen you. So once I had got it cut from him, I knew that I just wanted to let it grow out because I missed my long hair and I wanted long hair again. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go on this journey to like, new hair growth and just letting it do its thing and just not even focusing too much on it, but just kind of letting it be and like letting it flow. So from there, I started wanting to use some type of product in my hair as far as like washing and conditioning. So I found this product through the medical medium because I was trying to find a product that didn't have any fragrance in it, because fragrance is very toxic to the body and could cause like hormone disruptions and all of this other stuff. So I was just like, I don't want anything that's going to mess with my skin. I just want something that's natural, that is organic, and also like plant-based and vegan. So I found this brand called Derma Change, and I started using that. The medical medium recommends it, and so I just was like, let me just try it out. They have a shampoo, like a cleanser and a conditioner, and that's all I use, and that's what I've been using since. I don't even use any leave-in conditioner now. Like, this is literally just my curls, and I know a lot of it has to do with my diet and being like plant-based and eating lots of plant-based foods, also exercising. Like, it's a whole lifestyle, because now my hair is growing so fast that I can't even keep up with how long. I'm just amazed at how much it's grown within a year. So I can't wait to see just kind of like where it goes from here, but I'll probably get another shape up eventually. But right now I'm not worried about it too much. I don't worry about knots. I don't worry about like ends really. Like, I'm just really not tripping off of it. I'm just kind of letting it grow. Anyways, you guys, that's my hair journey. Isn't that crazy though, that I don't use anything else and no leave-in conditioners on my hair? If I were to do this years ago, even when I had like good like long hair or whatever, and my hair was looking healthy, I would look like a tumbleweed. Like, it just would not look nice like this. And don't get me wrong, I don't always need definition. I'm not even tripping off the like definition. I actually like when my hair is like more bigger and frizzier. But it's natural state. I don't do finger curls or coils or anything like that. This is how it is after it like dries. And these days it's been cold, so I will use a little bit of a blow dryer to help it like dry quicker. But normally, like, I don't even do a blow dryer. I just air dry. And if I air dry, I did blow dry a little bit today, so it is a little bit more frizzier. So if I air dry, it's way more defined. But like I said, I don't really care for definition. And that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you liked this video, and like it if you like. If you like this video and you want more, then like it. If not, like, do you, boo. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get some more videos out. Let me know if you guys have any questions or what you want me to answer for the next hair video, because I know you guys are probably gonna have a ton of questions. So just let me know, and I will see you guys soon.